What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Daily for a Friday. Magic, are you ready to rock? You got a nice couple of best bets yesterday.
Yeah, it was a good day. It felt a little more return to normal. I went 2 for 3. Had a 9-5 winner somehow at the track I'm returning to again for the show today. So I'm excited. But the best part about yesterday, justice for Linda Rice. It prevailed, baby. The best thing happened. The horse won, and it got claimed, so she doesn't have to worry about that donkey named Talking Pharaoh anymore. She got the win. She got the 14K for the claim, and she didn't even have to leave the comfort of her home.
All right, all good stuff. Hopefully, she can pay that fine. If did they fine her? I'm sure they fined her something. Hopefully, she
Yeah,
can
no,
pay it
I'm
now.
sure it was like maybe a half of what the 14K claiming race paid. So
If not a third or a quarter. So
yeah,
she's probably doing just fine. Well, yes, congratulations for sure to Linda Rice. Shout out to Linda Rice. All right. Well,
I did actually have a big bowl of rice and chicken last night for dinner to celebrate. True
well,
story.
that's great, Magic. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you supported her like that. I'm happy for you. Well, speaking of being happy, let's get into it today, Magic. The ice has been good to me lately, so we're going to go with two hockey games to talk about, and then we'll talk about a basketball game that we wish Papa Dude was here for. But let's kick it off. I put this on here for two reasons. I think it's an interesting game, number one, and it's your team, number two. Red Wings minus 135 tonight, so they are favorites on the road against Arizona. Total sits at 6.5. Arizona played last night against Minnesota, got crushed. Can the Red Wings do the same, Magic?
Good Lord, I hope so. Last night was horrible. Now, granted, they're coming off of 2 back-to-back hard games. They played the Panthers. That was a hard loss. There's no shame to losing to them. There's no shame in losing in Colorado. They're the best home team in the league. They score like over 3.5 goals per game. It's closer to 4 when they're at home. So I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is if you now lose in Arizona, now I think your playoff hopes are pretty much gone. So really hoping to turn things around. But, going to Arizona and playing the JV Coyotes in the JV building, like this is a good tonic for what's ailing you. So I'm hoping that they can, there's no Cale Makar getting his first career hat trick on the Coyotes. There's no Nathan McKinnon. It's the Coyotes are a lot more bark than bite. So I'm hoping they get the win. I'd play the Red Wings here. They really need to turn things around here.
It's a massive game for them. Just massive. You can't go in there and lose this game. And you're right. You lost a couple of games to teams that it's like, yeah, it's whatever. May not beat them even for playing our best. They got to play well tonight. Listen, the thing that scares me a little bit for the Red Wings, this is not an Arizona team that's awful. Like, they got stomped last night, but they were in the game for a while. It's not going to be an easy game. They will play hard. But at the end of the day, I'm with you. I think the Red Wings get it done. I think minus 135. If you like to play minus, that's reasonable. That's a reasonable price. That makes sense. So Red Wings for me as well. This one's really interesting. The Jets and the Kraken tonight in Seattle. The Jets are minus 125. The Kraken were able to beat the Jets in their last game. So this is the second of a back-to-back. They went to Winnipeg and won 4-3. Total sits at 5.5, despite 7 goals being scored in the first meeting. Well, not the first meeting, but the meeting last time between these two. What do you think about the game tonight?
I'm going to give the edge to the home team in this series, so I'm going to go with the Seattle Kraken here. But this should be a great game. Two very exciting playoff potential teams. Is Hellebuyck going to be in net? Because it must be with the total at 5.5.
Yes.
So that always makes things that makes it tougher to play against the Jets. I think he's the best goalie in the NHL right now. So
yeah.
Maybe I'll take the under on this one. I know there was a 4-3 their last game 3 days ago, so maybe they just had the recency bias having played each other. Now they both, traveling back to Seattle with Hellebuyck in net. Yeah, I think I'll go with the under.
All right, Hellebuyck for in net tonight for the Jets. I assume there's no reason why he wouldn't be. I don't think tonight. Yeah, so I am going to go first period under. I think goal and a half under for the first period. It makes sense in this one because of just what you said. I also think second game of a back-to-back. You kind of see this in the playoffs, like game twos. Usually the first periods are tight. Like you kind of analyze what you did in the first time you played them, which was just a couple of nights ago. You try to make adjustments. It's a tight first period, and then maybe it'll open up just a bit. So I'm with you. I think under is the play here. Is if you go full game or if you go under that goal and a half first period. If you're going to play a side, I do kind of lean towards the Jets, but I'm kind of with you. I'm not playing it because it's like, yeah, Seattle, I think they could win, but is plus 105 enough? Probably not. Yeah, Jets, I think they can win, but do I want to play minus 125? Not really. So I'm going to go a total on this one as well. All right, Magic. Boise State and San Diego State. It's the mascot battle. The Aztec versus a Bronco. I don't know. San Diego State 7.5-point favorites here. Who you got?
Oh, geez. How about this? San Diego State first half. I think that's the way to play. I think 7.5 is too much for the full game here, but they've won 18 of their last 22 first halves at home, like cashing that. So I'm going to go with San Diego because of the line there. Full line, I don't really have a strong feeling. So I'll just go first half. San Diego State, Aztecs. If you're running a race against a Bronco, you might hang in there a little bit early. It's going to be tough to keep pace with them the whole time.
All right, I'm going to go Aztecs minus 7.5. I think they're going to win as well. So they are, like Mark said, he knows this conference. They're very tough at home. Very tough at home. So I'm going to take the Aztecs as well. All right, let's get to horse racing. Before we get to the race, let's talk about what Mark put on the comments here, because you're talking about justice for Linda Rice. Justice for Mick Ruiz. It took a while. Justify officially DQ'd from the 2018. That's right, 2018 Santa Anita Derby. And Mick Ruiz, he's going to get paid, and Bolt d'Oro's the winner of that race now. What are your thoughts on this?
So I did see this getting passed around. They actually, not to correct you there, Mark, because I do appreciate everything you contribute, including the whack input there. But this decision was made a while ago. They ruled in favor. The judge said that Mick Ruiz is now owed a whole bunch of money, and they have to redistribute the purse. So this news, I think it was like a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago, that they changed that. It's the right move. What I really wish had happened is that every steward who was on the board at the time of the Justify thing in 2018, I wish that they got their ass fired and they got their ass fined up the wazoo out of this situation, because all of this is because the CHRB brushed it under the table. They never let the public know. They never let this come out. Like, it only came out long after the fact. It was like Justify was long retired. He was already setting up shop to start boning some mares. Like, he was ready to go. And then they went, oh yeah, by the way, all of this happened. It's like, no, it's not. Ultimately, it's not Baffert's fault. It's the CHRB's fault. They just brushed it all under the table. So I'm not happy that any of those stewards still have jobs, or that they are not actually, filing for bankruptcy or living in their mom's basement, because it's absolutely ridiculous that they allowed this to happen in the first place. So it's good that it happened for Mick Ruiz. I'm happy for him. But got justice there, but really it's the steward's fault in the first place.
I can't add anything. That was perfect. I totally agree with that. And to think that it took 5.5 years for this to happen. I mean, it is like,
well, that's the American justice system. I think that's when you just go, well, it took 5.5 years because of the justice system and appeals and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Okay. That's fair. Fair enough. I want to get to Shoddy's comment here. It said fake Triple Crown winner. Do you agree?
Boy, technically, yes. I mean, that's what she said is true, because if you've said this before in videos, if Justify, if they handle that properly, Justify doesn't win the San Diego Derby. He has 0 Kentucky Derby points, which means he never goes to the Derby and wins. And you did this in your Chad Brown on Dirt video, that then Good Magic theoretically wins the Kentucky Derby. Good Magic then wins the Preakness because he's not trying to chase and hound Justify in that ghost track that they had that day. And he's going for a triple. Good Magic, one of my favorite horses ever, is going for the Triple Crown at the Belmont. I don't think he was good enough to win that, but
no,
especially in that kind of short of a span. But what does suck is we saw it. Justify was extremely talented, and he's passed that on to his foals. Like, his foals are it's almost like Gun Runner-esque, where they've got the same talent that their dad had. So in that regard, it sucks, because it's like he did have the talent, and it wasn't that it wasn't a Butte overage that you hear about a lot. It wasn't some corticosteroid that he was busted for. It was contaminated feed. He had Jimson weed, and I said it in the Discord. I mean, tell me one time that weed made anybody faster or more powerful. Like, it might make you a better eater. It might make you fall asleep faster. That's about it.
Yeah, and I'll have to be open to your interpretation basically as a fan, because CDI has already said they're not going to change it, as Shadi mentions here, and so which was surprising actually that they said
That's where they draw the line with Baffert. They're like, you can't be in the Derby, but yeah, this one's 6 years ago. That's too much paperwork for them. They don't want
You did kind of feel like they might take this away, right? And then they didn't. But look, end of the day, it's up to your interpretation. I will say this: I've been extremely lucky to be there for 2 Triple Crowns. One of them felt much different than the other one. Meaning, in 2015, that felt like the Triple Crown. In 2018, it felt funny. Even then, even when we didn't know any of this, it was just kind of like, I'm not sure that should have happened. There's something up with this horse type of thing. So,
and he was in and out. Like it was you or Jared said it right when it happened. It's like, it was like a dream. Like he was here, he won, and he was out. In 100 days, his career went from never started to won the Triple Crown to retired. A big thing with Pharaoh is he kept racing, and yeah, you saw him lose the Travers, but he got the Grand Slam. He came back and won the Classic, and that's also not just because it'd been 30-some years since you'd seen a Triple Crown winner, but there was a lot more of a story and a journey to go along with him.
I remember crying when American Pharaoh won. Yeah, take away Jared's fantasy league points. I'll think about that today. I won't. I remember crying when American Pharaoh won, and I just remember I was cheering, obviously for Justify, and we cheered, but I don't remember being that emotional about it. So, yeah. But look, he was a hell of a horse. I don't want to discredit him too much. He really was a hell of a horse. But yeah, you look at this, it's like, well, that's not good. Like that's I can see why people are going to say that's kind of fake, because it kind of is. So yeah. Said leave it at that. All right. Thanks, Santa Anita. All right, let's go to the race of the day today. Oaklawn Park, race number 9. Magic, I got that one right yesterday. So we got to go back to Oaklawn today. Who do you like? It's allowance going 1 mile. Looks like a good surface today. Track maybe drying out a little bit. Who do you like in the 9th?
Can I take half credit? Because I said I like 2 horses, including, and I let you because I knew who your top pick was.
Yep.
I'll take half credit. If your top pick wins again today, I'll take half credit because I also like yours, and I really had a funny joke about it. Because it's your top pick, I'll let you have it. I'll go for a little bit of a long shot here, 10-1 on the morning line. The number 9 Into Disco, I think, has potential here for an upset. So she had 3 races in her career with Dale Capuano. Had a couple of seconds, but didn't do anything spectacular. First time with Riley Mott. It's a mile at Oaklawn. She's beaten the length of the stretch. Second start out, going a mile at Oaklawn, wins by 3 lengths. Then after that, wins again, going 2 turns at Oaklawn. The last race of 2023, something clearly went wrong, so we didn't see her for 9 months. She comes back off the long layoff. First time out for Riley Mott. Yeah, exactly, Shadi. First time out for Riley Mott, again, loses by the length of the stretch. Second off of the layoff, I think she's going to have, she still has plenty of room to improve. She's a lightly raced 5-year-old mare with only 8 starts. But the time form figure she got for that long layoff return almost matched her career high. All 3 of her highest career time form figures are going 2 turns at Oaklawn. I really think that she's going to have a big chance to take a big step forward. I just don't know if it's a big enough step forward to take someone that, could actually describe what we looked for in our single days, a date that was free and kind of like a girl.
Well, there you go. Number 1, Free Like a Girl. That'll be my top pick there, Magic. way to segue into it. Okay, this is kind of a weird thing when you look at it. Second by a neck in the Houston Ladies Classic 2 races back, and that's obviously a very good performance. Second at Delta Downs, beating 3/4 of a length at 1-9. So there's a downer for sure.
Raise your hand if you had her as a best bet that day.
Well, yeah. Just couldn't hold them off. I don't know what happened there.
It was the 7-day gap. I'll blame the fact that they were like, we're going to do a hard race in Houston in a grade 3, and now we're going to go back to Delta. And the Lizard, the kid, wasn't even good enough to get her there.
Yeah, I know. I think you're right about that. Well, now the kid, the dummy, Ricardo Santana, gets aboard today. We'll see what happens. I think he just sends and tries to take a gate to wire from the rail. I mean, why wouldn't you? So I think the number 1, Free Like a Girl, going to be really tough. I think she's the class. That's going to be my play. But don't think for 1 second I'm sitting here going, boy, we lost at 1-9 at Delta last time out. But I don't know. She just didn't, like I said, maybe it was a 7-day thing. She didn't run very well. So I did put the 1 on top in this one. You kind of mentioned the 9. I thought the 6 made a ton of sense here as well. This horse coming off of an allowance win by 7 here at Oaklawn. So I thought the 6, obviously, but that's, 3-1 over 5-2. So that's not any kind of thing. But the Adora horse, obviously, you got to think about that one as well. Should be a good one. All right, Magic, let's go to your best bet of the day.
Yeah, going to Penn National here, probably not going to get 9-5, which is an absolute gift on Like a Cougar, which one of my favorite horses because of her name, and that she's just she's very good at Penn National as well. The 4 Overmuch broke the maiden in her second start for Brittany Russell. Queen of Maryland Racing says, I'm tired of dominating just one state. We're going to go over to Pennsylvania and start winning some of their races too. It was a 30K maiden claiming race at Laurel Park. To me, I think that this is a lateral move. It's N1X Allowance Company, but it's Penn National. You look at who else is in this race. There really isn't anybody that scares you. I mean, I know Fabulous Phoebe's won a couple of races, but it was maiden claiming and Pennsylvania bred allowance, both at Penn National. She's bringing a lot of class, and Brittany Russell sometimes will put a horse down in maiden claiming ranks at Laurel in that middle level, kind of assuming, hoping nobody's going to claim it. That's what happened here, and the horse dominated by 10.5 lengths. I also like that Javian Toledo, one of her 2 main riders, along with her husband Sheldon, is coming over to ride this horse. Like, he doesn't cross state lines when Laurel Park has a big card like they do today. I mean, Laurel's got, what do they have, like 9? Yeah, Laurel's got 9 races today, and he goes, yeah, I'm going to go over to Penn National and ride this horse after I ride at Laurel Park. Like, that's what I love about it, too. He's got mounts at Laurel Park, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go over and follow this $250,000 daughter of Curlin that the commissioner of horse racing owns. Smart guy.
I like it. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that as well. I looked at that horse as well, so I think that's a good one. Dennis says her Penn National numbers aren't great. I don't know if he's talking about Brittany Russell or not, but she's
8 for 20 in the last year with 16 for 20 hitting the board. I don't know what more you like. Find me honestly a trainer at Penn National with all the juicers that they have that's better than that.
I mean, yeah, 40% wins, 80% in the money. She hasn't run a ton of them, but it's because basically she does kind of what you just mentioned. That's exactly what she kind of uses it for. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I don't think this horse is losing today, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, it is Penn National, and dreams do go to die at Penn National sometimes. So hopefully that is not the case today. All right, Magic. Speaking of dying, let's go out to Santa Anita. I'm going to go Santa Anita, race number 2. I'm going to go number 3. Tell me how to say it, Magic. How do you say the name?
Bonaqua.
Okay, Boner is how I say it. I'm going to go number 3. Oh, no. Bonaqua for me on top in this one. Look, I think, last time out, ran into a horse, Navy Bell, who's the second choice tomorrow to win a stakes race. Probably not going to beat Kinza, but still looked really good on debut. Got beat 2 lengths that day, but I thought ran pretty well. Ran pretty well on debut as well. Got second beaten a length. And then today you look at this field and you're like, okay, this is it. Like Bonaqua, if you don't win today, then maybe you're just not very good. You've gotten beat by 2 decent horses. Now it's your turn to win. You've caught a field today that isn't great on paper. So I'm going to go in Santa Anita race 2, number 3, Bonaqua for my best bet of the day. Any commentary on that one?
I like it. We can call her Bona.
Bona.
Give me that Bona. Give me all that Bona in race 2.
All right. Well,
I did look at this one. I considered her the way that I'm not sure what the track situation is going to be like at Santa Anita just because of all the rain and thunderstorms we had yesterday, but
yeah.
We'll I mean, she should handle it no matter what. That's I kind of was staying away from Sandy because I just didn't know what the situation would be as a whole.
Well, to be fair, before I put this one out, I texted you last night. I said, "Are they going to run?" Because I don't want to put this out and then they not run. And he's like, "Yeah." You were like, "Yeah, they're going to run." So, yeah. So we'll see.
Last I saw, they're still on the turf. I saw that they had the rail out 30 feet. So maybe it's drier out there. I don't know. It's got to be pretty mushy though. I'll be surprised. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think the dirt it might be good, not fast, but I don't think it'll be
Yeah.
sloppy or anything like that from what I've heard. So, all right, Papa Dude's best bet. And boy, he was mad last night because that game looked like it was over and they totally fell apart and lost. So he was super upset. They were up 13 points with 10 minutes to go and lost the game. So anyway, we'll go to today. He's going Toledo -7.5 here. Big home court advantage for Toledo, playing a team that's not great, coming off a nice win last time in their last game against Miami of Ohio. Looking for that 20th win, senior night, all this stuff. He thinks it favors the Rockets big time. So he's going to go Toledo -7.5. Okay. No, you don't like it?
No, I can't. I was watching the score on Turtle State and how they, turtled their way to the finish there. They were dominating that team and just got destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. I was watching the game, and then all of a sudden it's like they were taking the dumbest shots. And like Utah Valley clearly wasn't very good because Tarleton State was just playing awful, and it took forever for Utah Valley to finally take the lead. Yeah, it was bad. Anyway, all right, here are the picks for today. I'm going to go Santa Anita Race 2, number 3, Bonacqua. Magic's going to go Penn National Race 4, number 4. Overmuch, and then Papa Dude's going Toledo -7.5. 1 and 2 down $125 for the week so far. Magic got a win. I had a horrible race. I can't believe that horse ran so bad yesterday. And then Papa Dude got stomped there at the end. Still up $1,065 for the year. Magic, any final thoughts before we get off here?
NHL trade deadline is today. It ends in 2.5 hours. So there's some crazy stuff happening over in the world of the hockey. I just saw that the Jets are going to get Tyler Toffoli, so I like your Jets pick even more now. So that is and I don't like the underplay anymore because that is a superb goal scorer, and he's got 2 cups to his name back when he played with the Kings. So great pickup from the Winnipeg Jets there.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. I like that pickup a lot for the Jets. Now, he probably won't play tonight, though, will he?
Why not?
Well, okay.
Get your ass on a plane and get over to Seattle.
Okay, all right.
We got a game to win. It's playoff hockey time. Come on, Tyler.
Okay. I stand corrected.
I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at him. Get your lazy ass on a plane and go.
You may be mad at him, but it feels like you're mad at me, and that's what hurts. Okay, so with that note, we're getting off of here right now. Everybody have a good rest of your Friday. We'll be right back here tomorrow for more Best Bets. Bye.